If we were standing around the LGBTQ plus water cooler, this is what we may all be talking about. It's sponsored by Hot Topic. Hot Topic is an American retail chain with nearly 700 locations across the country, specializing in counterculture-related clothing and accessories, as well as licensed music. Hot Topic represents many varied interests of the LGBTQ plus community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and more. Hot Topic features one of the largest collections of Pride merchandise in the country that celebrates all aspects of the LGBTQ plus community. Hot Topic is a major sponsor of our diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBTQ plus organizations. Very notable is their support of the Trevor Project, the LGBTQ plus community's most important voice of LGBTQ plus young people. And that's why they are sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. A new report this week challenges stereotypes about gay male relationships and how long they last. A study from the Williams Institute at UCLA followed more than 500 Vermont couples, including gay, lesbian, and heterosexual relationships over a 12-year period between 2000 and 2014, and that combined with other studies in the last year that came to collective conclusions. Researchers found that overall gay male couples were the least likely to part ways. Lesbians were twice as likely as gay men to terminate their relationships. And all of the anchors at the table are shaming Faye behind the scenes. And by the way, 1.5 times as likely as heterosexuals, meaning they don't stay together as long as gay men either. Additionally, the Williams Institute study looked at what factors affect the longevity of participants' relationships. They noted the longer relationships between older partners, and relationships between highly educated partners were more likely to stand the test of time. So our hot topic this week: challenging U-Haul stereotype. What couples stay together longer? Straight, gay, or lesbian? What do we think?
We've always known this U-Haul thing was a myth.
Yeah.
That was always about. I've been a U-Haul homo since
you're so cute.
When I was first starting
You homo.
You homo.
When I was first starting to date Luke, and it was right when the COVID lockdown went in, and where we weren't going to be able to see each other for a month, and he pretty much just moved in. I'm like, I've gotten used to getting laid well. You are not going anywhere. But I've always been
a lesbian.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be all,
I'm just trying to get the story. I'm just trying to get the story.
That's how we get along so well, Faye. It's my inner lesbian.
What do you think, lesbian?
No, here's the thing, okay? You know, I dated men, okay, before. So I'm not like the gold star lesbian, right? But most of my lesbian friends, yes, they change partners a lot, because in their same circle, their ex is their best friend, their ex is their also best friend. Like they literally like change partners with themselves.
Like
like a freaking merry-go-round.
Putting a card down and you're picking the
and you're
card
picking
up.
it up. I don't F my friends. Sorry, Mark. I don't F my friends, and that is again. This is. I think that is me coming from in the straight world that I had to be in for a little bit. You know, my best friend is my best friend. I don't F her, and I don't want to F her. You know, and that is just like a really weird line when it comes to most, not all lesbians, but I think everybody at this table can attest that you have a lesbian friend that her best friend is her ex.
Zero in on the study results, and you don't speak for all lesbians, I know, but what do you think about Williams Institute's conclusion that gay men stay together twice as long as women?
I think that gay men, one wonderful thing about gay men is that they have conversations, they have communications, they set their boundaries real early, okay? So if you know that you can't be monogamous or you like to get that dick on a Friday night at Hunter's, you and your boy understand it. And you have an understanding from day one. And for that reason, a lot of people like yourself, married 35 freaking years, stay together because you're both good. You're both getting everything that you need out of this relationship.
What do y'all think?
I'm going to agree with that statement. I mean, it really is, of all of the groups, and actually we were talking about this on the podcast, you see it every day. I mean, you can see it when you go out. You see people that are couples, and you might see someone leave with someone else. But that doesn't mean the same thing that it means for a lot of heterosexual couples and a lot of lesbian couples, because I do know a lot of lesbian couples. It's a thing that gay men have a communication and understanding that is just different than all of the other groups.
You know, I want to put a phrase on this, and if it's inaccurate, you correct me, but ownership in relationship. I own you in relationship. A study came out last year that basically summarized the projection that they talked about how relationships formed. And it wasn't specifically about LGBT, and it wasn't specifically about the straight community, but it talked about relationships that had formed since January of 2020 because of the COVID outbreak and the lockdowns and et cetera and so on. And you fell into this category. Guess what the conclusion was of the expectation of what's going to happen to relationships over the next 10 years?
What?
They're going to crash. And the reason is because in 2020 and 2021 and a little bit in early 2022, the relationship, however you define the relationship broadly in America, was formed in a pandemic isolation bubble.
Necessity.
And as a result, it was created in, and they use that word, of necessity, because we needed to be together for safety.
And I don't want to be alone. I might as well have company.
And I want the reliable sexual partner relationship, reliable, sit on the couch and watch television,
and it's safe.
Reliable, correct, cook the food, and it's safe. And that we've built relationships on that, and that over the years, over the next 10 years, we're going to see a gigantic crash.
If not already, I would think most of those couples are already broken up. I know people that stayed together just because it was COVID, and they just were like, I can't get a place on my own. I hate this mother effer, but I'm going to stay with him. You know? And then as soon as things were up, peace.
It's already playing out in real time, though, because in 2021, that's why there was such a large influx of pets at shelters, is because people started getting pets in 2020, and then when things started opening up again, they realized, oh no,
I don't have time for my pet.
And also, I'm sorry. So also the thing about this, so you know, it goes to heart and mind versus passionate intimacy versus your body, or passionate versus your sex. We all think different. I think women think very much different with that intimacy versus us as men. It's about the sex. And so we can differentiate between the two. And I agree with you. I know many lesbian couples who are very successful, very much into Fortune 500 companies, who get together, they find something, but the moment their heart is broken with that person, there's no getting over it. They now separated, they now moved on. Where, man, we can find a way to get over it. You fucked up, okay, cool, let's talk about it. And we can move over it and build upon it versus again, the mind, the body.
Life is over.
Yeah,
and we think very different.
And women are extra jealous. We're way more jealous than men will ever be. And so it's that component of ownership. I own you. And also, where are you? Why haven't you texted me? It's been half hour. What the fuck?
Try to be Cuban.
You know?
I think it's hot when your man gets hit on. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
But
I'm like, yeah, you can go kiss that guy. Then I see you kiss the guy, and I'm grabbing you by the neck. It's like, who am I anymore?
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Wow.
But that's that love though. When that L word creeps in, it changes the dynamic, and that's when that monster comes out. Because again, we as the lucky throuple, when you have that communication, the moment that jealousy creeps in, you now turn into the hawk. What are you talking about? Or I didn't get hit on, you did. What happened? Why? And where did all that come into play?
Yikes.
Soundbite of the study results is the most likely to stay in a relationship and long-term relationship into the golden years, however you define that, are gay men.
Absolutely.
And then a few steps behind that in percentage are straight couples. And then a few steps behind that are lesbian couples.
Wow.
Wait, you said the golden years. That's like 30 years apart for gay and straight people.
Yeah, well, that could be.
So, I mean, that's like 40 in gay years.
Yeah, could
so.
that was a read, by the way. Okay. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.